So last time we were together, we had figured out which pieces were going to be which, and I used different markings to show us where the relative pieces would go. Not sure if the camera's picking it up because of the color of the wood, but it's just a triangle, and I've got one dash through it. And the bottom here just says drawer, just so that way I know that that's the piece that I want for the drawer. I know that this is the front, and we will mark it a little bit differently once it's glued together. I kind of want to show what, right now there's a big ugly gap between these two pieces. No way that's going to work in the final piece. And what we're looking for is that. And that line right there is a very clear, it's very smooth. There's no gaps in between that. However, if we look at it, let's see if I can get this on the camera. If we look, I can see the light, but there is a gap. It's close, but there is a gap. And I'm like, oh wow, that doesn't seem like it would fit together nicely. But because of the way we do it, and let's see if we can get it. Yeah, there's an equivalent and opposite gap on this side. So when I put them together, they offset each other, and I've got a perfectly flat board that will be glued together. Hopefully I'll get to that today. But oops, now we got to do it to this one. I'm going to show you how we go about doing that. Now, first things first, we need a nice straight edge there. And I guess if you could get it perfectly straight right off the bat, you wouldn't have to go through this procedure. But this is the way it's been done for long time. There's some tear out here, mostly because of the grain of the wood. But I'm not going to worry too much about it because I don't think it's going to be too effective. It's going to be a problem to what's going on, so I'll do the same here. And this is just getting it close. Okay, got full width shavings there. Get rid of that. So now when I put it together, you know what? That's pretty good. But like right over here, there's a gap on that side. If I push these two ends together. You see that how when I push those two ends together, that means that there's some kind of hump right in here. That side opens up and should do and not so much on the other side. So I'm pretty confident there's something right there causing a problem. But what we're going to do to fix that, very technical, very specialized equipment, 2 pencils. I'm going to open that a little bit. Got the two pencils. I am going to show you what I'm doing here. I'm going to take these 2 faces so I know that these are the same face. I'm going to flip them up together, get my technical pencils back, and that's just leveling it, making sure I got it on they're both the same distance off the bench. There's no waviness that I have to worry about, so I know they're going to be even. Okay, so right now these two, and I can feel, some places they're smooth and some places they're not. So we're going to bring that down all nice and smooth. And this will get me close. And as I'm looking down, I can see when I'm looking down here, this back piece, the one closer to me, is taking off more than the other one because of the bumps. So right now, they're each getting taken right here. There's a little bit of a gap with a little skipping action when I push the plane through, which is now gone. By bunching them together like this, that is how we offset the lack of squareness from one to the other. Now when I put these together, they actually look pretty good. Although, let's see if I get that on camera. When I squeeze these 2 together, this side opens up. Not as much as it did, but a little bit, and that's kind of expected. So I'm really close right now. That is almost perfect. Same thing. Got my two pencils. Flip them face to face. they should line up better now than what they did a moment ago. But I got to get rid of, there's some unevenness somewhere. And, you know, it looks good. They feel nice and smooth, but we got to take care of that. And how we do that is, like, the basis of a plane is, the blade is up here. I got all of this plane resting on there, so that way any like dips in the board, the plane will ride over it until the high parts come down to the low areas. High areas, bumps, though, the plane will kind of ride over it, and it kills that smoothing problem, that lack of adhesion between the two pieces. So what I'm going to do is take out some from the middle and intentionally create a hollow. So I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm not going to go all the way through. So now, as my plane is going over this section, there is no shaving coming out. So I'm going to make it just a little bit longer. And now I'm going to take a couple of full length strokes. And at this point, I am fairly confident that when I put these two together, there's no longer going to be a hollow in the middle of that. And again, oops, that was just me rotating it. There we go. That is a dropped piece of wood. There you go. That is perfect. There is no light coming through those two pieces. I mean, they're not even, because I should be doing it on the bench. That's a flat surface. Let's see if I can do it this way. There you go. So that is what we're shooting for. A perfectly jointed, it's called edge jointing. Once I put glue in there, clamp that together, a couple of hours, that will be stronger than the wood itself. And that is how it's done. So that took me, 7 minutes to joint those two boards together. So hand tool woodworking doesn't really take as long as you have the time to get out and do it. That's the next step. These two pieces, in case everything ever gets messed up, that's why they're marked. So that way they are where they are. Glue these up, and then I'll be able to size them, get the front and the back of the pieces. The sides, just for aesthetic things, I like to make the sides of my boxes a little bit thicker than the front and the back, so that way when the ends of the dovetails come through, it just, to me anyway, it's more aesthetically pleasing. So, you know, albeit these are just over half an inch thick, the other ones may be 5/8, you know, just a little bit more. Maybe not even that much. I'll decide when I get to it. Well, thanks for watching. Hope we learned something, and we'll talk to you soon.